Well, it's Monday, and I know you're down in the dumps because of Monday, but that's why Recon's here. We're going to get you picked back up because we're going to work on something that everyone should work on every now and then. Last week, we were introducing the AI seller listing interview. This week, I've got a five-part series, or we have a five-part series on the buyer AI interview. And the scenario is a buyer is going to be buying a home. They haven't bought a home in a while. They've heard all about this groovy stuff with artificial intelligence. So they go to ChatGPT, for example, and ask, what questions should I ask a buyer's agent? And we're going to summarize all of those 10 different sections and 70 different questions. And according to what GTP chat says, are the top five, one for each day. Session one today. And here is the question, you guys. How will you help me determine whether a home is actually worth what I'm paying for it? Or another way to say that, how will you help me determine what I should offer? So, Louise, we got a full cadre here. Kelly's back, although maybe a little under the weather. Who's on and how do we play?
Okay, playing is easy and it actually helps you grow. So you'll post in the chat that you would like to participate, or in the event that we're just getting started, Louise might hypothetically select some people who would be good sports. So I've selected Robert and Ellie and Frank. Darlene stepping up, she'll be after that. So when you're ready, Denny, Robert, and Don can start it off.
All right, Robert, you guys, everyone, this will be at the table, okay? And they are interviewing you. And Louise, who's up first? Robert and who?
Don.
All
Hey,
right, Don.
hey, Robert. Next question I have for you is, how are you going to help us determine whether a home's actually worth what I'm paying?
Well, Don, first and foremost, do you have solidified in your mind what you're ready and willing to pay?
Well, I think the lender's got some control over that too, but yeah, we're looking up to 1 million. That's the top. But do I pay 950? Do I pay 970? Do I pay 920? And if so, depending on the list price, what do I offer? What kind of percentage? Help me out there.
Certainly. And Don, um, yeah, remind me, have you bought a home before?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And do you own the home that you're in currently?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And will you need to sell the home that you're in currently to buy your next home?
No, no, we'll rent it out. It's good cash flow.
Okay. Okay, very good. And so, Don, I guess my next question then is going to be, when you bought a home in the past, what sorts of things did you do at that time to distinguish whether or not you were paying the right amount?
Well, we look at what's selling, and again, we bought homes when it was nuts, when we had to overbid to get the home, and that's okay. And then, of course, we took advantage of a seller in a bad market. So, where do you see us making an offer in this kind of market?
Certainly. Well, as we evaluate, the homestead that you're
Hang
going to
on
look
just a
at.
second, Robert. Robert is always, he is the guy who goes first. He's the guy that
Yep.
takes all the bullets in the chest and all over the place. And he's got one of those guys that just gets up and keeps running. We are at a minute 30. And I understand you have to kind of triangulate a little bit, but have you even approached the question yet?
Not exactly, no.
Are
I mean,
you feeling it out because you don't know how to approach it and hoping they'll ring the bell before you have to answer, or this client will just go say, get out of here or sign the listing agreement?
uh, well, I'm trying to establish, which direction, yeah, probably
Let,
to
let's try
go.
let's try let's try it this way. Sorry about that. Try it this way. Tell us what you want to tell them.
Yes. Thank you, Matt. Yeah. Hey,
What is
look,
it? What
we
is
put
it you
them in
want
a
to tell?
coma.
Yeah, what is it you want to tell them? Just tell us.
Certainly. Well, Don, we are,
Don's not here. Don's
No,
not
no.
there.
Yeah,
Oh.
he ran away. We
Okay.
just want to know.
What's your answer?
I want to tell Don you're crazy, blah 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 blah.
Right. No, I mean, I want to tell them that we are going to, whatever house we look at, we're going to run comps on and things like that to see where it lands in the market. At that point in time, we will also evaluate what the market is doing. We'll look at the trends currently in the market. And then from there, that's where, we would probably establish a first price point to go forward with.
Okay.
It was kind of oatmealish, but let's go on. Is it okay if we go on another one or two, Matt?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Who's next? Thank you, Robert.
Me.
Okay, next is Ellie with Louise.
All right,
Ellie?
Luis.
Ellie, wait. Do not say that's a great question. And short. Don, right? Do that. Shh. There you go.
Ellie, how will you help me determine whether a home is actually worth what I'm paying for?
Luis, it all depends. Do you have a home in mind that you want me to start? We start from there to understand what might help there.
Nothing yet. I'm hoping you'll bring us some of those options.
Say that again, please.
Not yet. We're at the buyer consultation now, and we're gonna start looking for homes after this, right?
Okay. So would you like to have an idea what the strategy I'm using to present you the data when the time comes?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay. Other than, comparables and the market analysis, is there anything else that you're looking for in that when somebody's like me will help you determine the price that you're going to want to pay for it? You comfortable to pay? No.
All right, hang
You
on a
see, Rob?
second. My fault, you guys. I tried to start a trend last week on clarity and the definition of terms, and I don't know if you can read this behind me, but you just repeated back something she did not ask.
Okay.
What terms have to be identified? Let's review that again, okay? So, what a home is actually worth what I'm paying. So you started to answer a question, Ellie, that she didn't ask. So what
Okay.
question, and here, let me help you guys out, because I know that we've been teaching you to ask a lot of questions, whatever, like when they say, do you hold open houses? Well, how do you feel about an open house? We want to find out how to answer it before we answer it. But at some point in time, guess what, Matt? We have to come up with an answer.
Right.
So, Ellie, get some clarity on what she's asking. And you know what? One thing Robert did, and I'll ask you, Matt, on this, I think he did, of all that talking he did, I think going back to their prior experience was probably a road worth traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. Figuring out we bought houses before. How'd you figure it out last time?
Yeah, you're in this house right now. How did you do it on this one? That would you'll follow. What's the level of experience is what you're trying to get? So,
Yeah.
Ellie,
Do you
go
feel
ahead.
the home that you're in right now is worth what you paid for it at the time?
Yeah, that's a great starting point. So, Ellie, you've got like 30 more seconds. Not to interrupt you. I know you might have lost your train of thought, but maybe Louise, you can cue her up and then let her go. Okay.
Oh, let's see. So Ellie, how will you help me determine whether a home is actually worth what I'm paying?
So, Luis, tell me, what's your motivation? Why are you trying to move in now? I'm just right now.
Okay.
I'll
Got
pass
it.
on this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Got it.
I kind of messed you up. We'll do one more, then we'll start peeling back the onion. Who's next?
Next is Frank with Kelly.
All right, Frank. So, man, how will you help me determine whether a home is actually worth what I am paying?
That's a good question, Kelly. Um, by determining, do you want to know the mechanics or do you want to know what I'm going to come up with?
Well, I guess I want to know what factors should I be considering to be the most important when
Yeah.
deciding if this home is worth it or not?
Ultimately, it's going to be you making the decision whether it's worth it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I think the bank would appraise the property for. I'm going to also tell you what I think it's probably going to end up going for. Ultimately, you'll make the decision of whether you want to pay more than that, less than that, and I'm going to support you either way.
Well, what happens if what you think isn't actually what takes place?
Well, I'm not perfect. However, I do have a good handle on the market. I can
Time
tell you.
really fast. Matt, I'm going to let you go first on this. I'm just going to ask Frank one question. Frank, what is the difference between sitting with the seller and telling them what it's going to sell for, or sitting with the buyer and telling them what it's going to sell for?
Nothing.
Matt?
Yeah, we don't want to that's not a pool that we want to play in because it's got acid in it.
Yep.
It'll eat you alive. Man, that was pretty good. I like that analogy. Anyway, see, I just make these things up. Man, I don't want to give away the whole farm right now because I know exactly how I handle this scenario. I've handled it the same way every single time. But you want to. I'm thinking.
Let's do one more if you think it's better.
I want to formulate the thought without telling everybody how to, hey, this is what you should say. So let's go to one more. I'm going to formulate this thought.
Okay.
Darlene and Dawn.
Yeah, I have a way I'd approach it too. So we'll start sharing it after this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
All
I
right.
think.
Darlene, we bought homes before when the market was really hot, and we may have overpaid. That's okay. We got the right house. How are you going to help us determine what to do in this market?
Okay, Don, I'm glad that you're aware that the market may be different than when you purchased your home and they were going with those multiple offers. Tell me, Don, since you've had this previous experience, what is it you are actually looking for in this home? I mean, I understand you want me to direct you, guide you, and that's what I'm here for, most definitely. So, we're going to go in and we're going to do some research on the home once you've selected the home that you're interested in. We'll see what the market's going to present, okay? What are the market trends? What is its value? And then we'll make the best decision based upon those factors.
Darlene,
Okay.
let me ask you a question. He said something right off the bat that would give you an idea of maybe where to drill. Did anybody hear it was 2 words? You remember what he said?
Something about he's comfortable with what they paid before.
Why?
Ah, okay.
You may have overpaid, but that was okay because it was the what? Anybody
was
hear
the
it? Right house.
It was the right house. Right.
So, Matt, I don't. My mind kind of went to, okay, is this going to be about value or the right house conversation?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, they say it, for the right opportunity, most people will do just about anything, right? I mean, within reason. So use their words against them in that scenario. Now that we've gone through several of these though, guys, whenever anybody asks about, well, what's it worth? What's the value? How do we determine the value? What's it worth to you? That's the track you always want to go on. It's like, how are you going to help me determine what it's worth? Well, first and foremost, what do you understand about how worth is established? So that's the path you start to go down. What do you understand about how worth or value, if they use that word, is established? Then you can go to the same conversation we've had 1,000 times, and then I'll go to Denny, which is, Well, you got to sell it to three people: buyer, buyer's agent, bank appraiser. Bank appraiser, blah, 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 uses solds. Buyer's agent might look at pendings. But ultimately, to the buyer, it's only worth what they're willing to pay. Denny?
Yeah, that's a very good road to travel on. For example, I happen to collect bourbon. I have 300 or 350 bottles of bourbon. Put your favorite bourbon in there. But there's people out there that'll pay $2,500 for a $600 bottle of Pappy's. Why? Because it's worth it to them.
Yep.
So what do I want to draw kind of, I heard Billy Burden say he taught a memory class. And he said this, and I never forgot it. You guys can never forget anything if you attach that information to something you already know. So we've been practicing the seller interview, and we talk about the three things that are knowable. Well, a buyer interview and a seller interview are kind of the same. And I wrote down, when you were doing that, Darlene, Right House, research, right, and coming up with value. Listen, you guys, when you go to comps, when you do your research, it will not be able to determine what the value is to that person. There's three things that are knowable. Same conversation with the seller. Past data points, past things that have happened in the past. What is current and market trends? And with that information, the ultimate sales price or the offer price for them will have to be determined on a couple of different things. What is this home worth for you? And one of the things I'll help you understand is, instead of looking backwards, okay, if you lose this house, what's the other choices we have? Because the other choices out there may even be less desirable or more expensive. Does that help you going down the road a little bit?
One of my clients over the weekend, or on Friday rather, wanted to go see property in Fishhawk, Alithia, which is like the nice suburbs of Tampa. And we found a property that was listed at $550, and the boyfriend couldn't wrap his head around why it was positioned where it was, because it seemed like it was a good deal. But ultimately, the conversation just came back to it. You're focusing on the wrong metric here. It's only worth what it's worth to you. That's it. That is all. Forget everything else. Because what if the comps, it's a 550 house. What if the comps said 800? You want to write a check to them? You want to let the sellers know they underpriced their house and write them a check for 800?
There's one more ingredient, Matt. I'm waiting to hear it. I have not heard it yet. This would be a question you might want to ask during this period. It helps determine worth. All right, Louise, next.
Hey, Lori, let's go. Lori, how will you help me determine whether a home is actually worth what I'm paying?
Okay, Louise, let me ask you, is this your first time buying a home?
No, we bought a few.
Okay, perfect. And when you purchased your home previously, how was the process with your agent? Did they go over the data with you?
Keep it short, hon. Keep it short, hon. How'd you figure it out last time?
Hi, and my heart's beating out of my chest.
That's okay, honey. That's
80,000 people are staring at me.
Nobody's staring at you.
We're just staring with you.
Nobody's staring at you. Let the first word be your breath. How did you figure it out last time?
Okay. How did you figure it out last time?
Oh, let's see. The last one we bought, it was an off-market property, and I just offered a price to a seller.
Okay. And for me to get some clarity, when you say, how will I help you determine what you should offer on a home? Are you asking what I think the home will be worth? I wrote down some questions. So home would be worth, or how competitive you need to be in this market. I give up. I'm all over the place right now. Oh my God. I'm trying to get more comfortable, like talking to you guys, and so.
Lori, I think
Lori, let me speak for Lori for a second, because she's here near and dear to me. Guys, we need to give her some love, because she gets anxious on this stage. And what I want to acknowledge her for even being willing to do it, especially on camera. Okay. Guys, I used to teach classes, and I would I would like choke on my own spit because I was so cripplingly afraid. So first and foremost, thank you for participating, and the fact that she understands that what's most important about this is asking questions. Whereas most people that when they first started, and now I'm gonna throw some shade on everybody. When most people first started doing this on here, when Denny and I started doing this, man, they would just go tangential. They would start verbally diarrheaing all over the place. So, Lori, it's okay. Nobody's watching you. No, literally nobody's watching you.
I know.
And they're all, and don't take this out of context. They're all just as bad as you are.
It's just easier when it's one-on-one, but that's okay. I'll get better.
What you focus on expands. It's no easier. It's more difficult when you're one-on-one. And this is because I'm a mindset coach, guys. It's more difficult because when you're one-on-one, right now you're on a stage full of learners. Everybody on here wants to be better. This is the best environment to be in. So let's rock and roll.
Jose and Kelly.
All right, Jose. So, how will you help me determine whether a home is actually worth what I am paying?
Great question, Kelly. Tell me about your previous home buying experiences.
Well, the last time we bought, a couple of years ago, we kind of did our own study and just put a price. We offered a particular price on a home, and we got it. So it was pretty easy.
Okay. Did you feel that you overpaid then?
No, my family really likes where we're at, so I thought we did a good thing there.
Okay. I would say on the surface you did. Now, what if you did overpay? What made it different for you?
A great question. So what if we did overpay? I don't think we did based on just the satisfaction we received from being there.
I got it. Am I understanding you didn't overpay because it was the right house? Is that what you're saying?
It was the right house for us at that time, correct?
Okay. So what if we come across the right house this time? What would be different?
Well, we're just hearing so much noise going on out in the industry that we're in a buyer's market now and prices are still high. So we don't want to, I guess we want to double check what we're doing now. Last time we weren't as strategic, I guess.
I can help you with the strategic part of it. What do you think would be best strategic data that I can provide to you to help you make that decision?
Well, what data do you have that you can give me?
Well, I can share with you what the market in that particular neighborhood, once we select the right house, we can see what the market is doing. Would that be of value to you?
Yeah, but does that really matter right now? I mean, just because there is so much going on, I do like to look at the data, but tell me what your thoughts are on that.
I think that
Jose is such a smooth question answerer. I was getting a Lancy. I was waiting for you to answer the question, but I mean, you're great at asking questions. A couple different things. Overpay. What does overpay mean? Here's the question that would negate everything. And I'll just share some of the questions that chat came up with I've never heard before. Louise and I were just talking about that before, but this is one you should be able to answer. It's not that difficult. For example, Matt talks about the 3 types of value. And there's 3 things. I'll just repeat this because somebody asked the question in the chat. There's 3 things that are knowable. So Jose, I'll share everything that's knowable. Would that be okay?
yes.
And that's what's happened in the past, what's going on currently, and what the market trend is. Do you mind if I ask you a question? The house you're in right now, how long have you owned it?
6 years.
6 years?
Yep.
Oh, he said that?
No, I'm just answering because nobody was.
6 years.
Okay. And then let me ask you, how long do you anticipate being in this home?
At least 2 years.
Okay. So you're in this house, your current house for 6 years, and this house you're anticipating 2 years. Why is that so compressed? You guys see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
That answer I was not anticipating that answer. Here's the big picture. If they're going to be in it for a period of time, like Matt says, I'm not going to go out unless you pull me out in the pine box. Let me make it real simple for you. It does not matter
Yep.
what they pay for it. Y'all got that? Write that down. If you're getting a tattoo, that's right on your forehead. It does not matter. But there's three things you can help them with: past, present, and trends. However, I'll go into Kelly. That will be paper value. That may not be purchase value.
Yep.
That depends. That's an individual decision. So I can provide you that information. What you're going to have to do is make a decision. What is it worth to you? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Matt, you share.
In most cases, if you have a buyer client that says they're going to be in a property anything less than 3 years, don't buy. If they're really hyper focused on what like value and what they're paying, my advice to those buyers is don't buy, keep renting, because within a 2 to 3 year period, we can't guarantee you in a normal market you cannot break even. Back between 2009, which was rock bottom, to 2018, that was a normal market. And you would have to keep a home for 3 to 5 years before you ever even broke even, guys. So that's why if they say if they're going to be in the property between 5 to 10 years, doesn't matter. You're getting a deal at whatever you buy it at now, essentially. And I'm using that word loosely. Getting granular on the feedback to Jose. Because the word overpay came up, you asked, what if you did overpay? A better question is, how would you know if you did?
Yeah.
Not what if you did overpay, because then that actually creates a negative path of conversation. Well, what if you did overpay? No. How would you know if you did overpay?
It's kind of like marrying the wrong person. When do you find out you married the wrong person?
Mm-hmm.
After it's too late.
Yep.
It may be 3 years or 5 years. Isn't that what they say? Well, I bought this house, if people bought in 2022, now they want to sell. What do they say, Matt? We overpaid.
I overpay. Yeah. How will you know? Well, I know 3 years down the road when the values have gone down.
That's why they call the Watergate period the dating period, because you don't know anything until after you marry them, right? So, right, Frank, why are you smiling so big? How many times you've done that? Okay, once. All right, let's go again.
Miriam and Dawn.
Miriam,
Yes, hi, how are you?
well, I'm good. We're sitting at the table, and just one question. How are you going to help us determine what to pay in this crazy market?
Can I ask you a question? This is the first time that you buy in the house?
Oh, no, we bought homes good and bad markets. So what's your interpretation of the market right now? Is it good or bad for us as a buyer?
Every time, it depends on, sorry, every time I want to speak, how would you, let me think.
It's okay.
But how did
Just talk to us. Just talk to us. What do you want to ask?
how did you, I forgot, how, I know
Your last property you bought, how did you determine that value?
how did you determine the value for the last time that you bought the house?
Well, that was 4 years ago. The seller drastically reduced their home, so we paid more to get it because we knew it'd be a bidding war.
How do you know you pay over?
I don't know that I did. I know I outbid everybody else, but I don't think I have to do that again right now.
Yes. And, first, before we go over the property, I have to get the value of the house and also a comparable house with this house.
Okay, time.
Okay.
Wait, I'm glad you participated. I know you're struggling, Miriam, but that's okay.
I know
everybody
every
struggles.
time I wanna come here to speak. Always my heart is pumping out. I'm serious, but it's once come out from me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was in a dance contest. You should, and I was doing a Michael Jackson song. You should see me practice a moonwalk. It was not pretty. Still isn't very pretty. One thing that I'll say, and I'll let Matt, comment a little bit, is a couple different things.
Mm.
Louise and I were talking in terms of before the show, as far as coming up with value, and we were practicing our role plays. Here's the thing: when you look at comps, and I would never use that word. That's like a 4-letter word that to me, but it's only COM. That's a 4-letter word. 5. Okay, well, I can't spell. Comps will not determine worth.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to know that. And I have, and Louise suggests, well, sometimes she'll look at other values, look at, what is closed off market. That will help you with past data, maybe present data,
Yes.
or trends, but it does not determine worth.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to basically make their offer based on data, have you ever seen an appraisal be different than what someone would pay?
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time. So don't confuse the two, and don't put yourself under the spotlight where you're going to tell them based on your CMA what the home is worth.
Right.
The worth is individual. Matt?
Yes. The only thing that the data, the solds guys, which is what everybody, that's what everybody wants to focus on. The only thing the sold data tells you is what a buyer and or a bank was willing to pay for a property similar to that in the past.
Yes.
It does not determine what somebody's willing to pay for it now. The buyer is who determines what they're willing to pay for now. And then if a bank is involved because they're getting a mortgage, the bank is going to determine what they're willing to lend on it. But the buyer ultimately is the person that decides what it's worth.
Yes.
Tomorrow, we will be working on the second most important question, according to chat. Let me pull it up here really fast. And it will be, and we've practiced this before quite awkwardly. Remember, we're going to do one question each day this week. Here it is. How are you compensated? And could I be responsible for any part of your fee? Now, if you have your cameras ready, I'm going to show you a summary of 5 or 6 points that you could cover under today's role play if you want to study these and kind of work on them. I'll have them right behind me. There was like 10. I think I only came up with 5 or 6. Separate asking price from market value. We talked about that, right? Market price and market value is 2 different things. Analyze comps, don't worship them. I love that saying. Comps will give you direction which way the wind's blowing, but not specifically. Compare to buyer's alternatives. I've said that earlier. What if this? You say no to this one? What else is out there, particularly if they're on a time crunch? Study days on the market. Stale may not mean worthless.
Mm-hmm.
Next, look for appraisal risk. If someone is a high leverage person and they're stretching a little bit, we just had this happen. I think we talked about it last week. Somebody was putting down 30% in the $1 million range, did not put an appraisal contingency in there, and it didn't appraise. However, he could still get the loan. It became a problem. So make sure you discuss appraisal risk, even on a cash purchase.
And that recently changed in Florida, guys. So that might not apply in your area, but back in the day, if the home didn't appraise, the buyer could get out. Now, if the home doesn't appraise and they still have the ability to buy it, they have to buy it. So just know your contracts, but that's what Denny's saying there.
And the last one here, this is very important. We could make a whole series all day on this one. I will help you avoid emotional underpayment and emotional overpayment. Have you had a buyer get all locked up because their parents are saying you always go in with a 20% under asking price offer? Or this is supposed to be a buyer's market. Why would I pay over asking price? Because the guy's asking 20% below value.
Yep.
So you have to speak to them about their emotional response. Matt, any closure?
I've had this. That was one of my silver bullet questions when I was a buyer's agent 100 years ago, and that is, what if you found a property that was 20% under what the market may bear for it, and the only way you could get it was paying list price or more? So that's all in closing.
All right, you guys, thanks a lot. We'll work on question number 2 tomorrow. So sharpen your skills. Love you, meet it, knuckle bump, and thank you guys for playing.
I just have one question, if you don't mind.
Quickly.